to your darty dart. Are we live?
Oh my gosh,
yes.
the table is clean for once today.
What are you doing? What you don't know until you put it.
Blah, blah.
Gonna hurt us. Anyway, this is, what they call this? Impromptu.
Impromptu.
That's what I said, impromptu.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, we impromptu.
Listen, if you think we have a script that we go by, you're mistaken. We don't do that.
So anyway, why are we here tonight? It's very funny. Well, it's not funny. It's well, yeah, it was hilarious. I felt sorry for him, but
it's Twitch with. Look, we are not without. What is that? Without sympathy for these people.
Yeah. No, I felt very sorry for these people, but let me give you a little background here, okay? Ever since they did this, the woke, really, it made it to East Texas even, okay? Before COVID and such, all right, and the school shut down and stuff, but even before that, they were having for Pride Month in grade schools, okay? Now, this is the difference between good Christian people, good people of moral stock, and people that live in the cities. We weren't going to play that game. There's 5 grade schools in our small town. Only 3 of them are still open now because they started doing gay parades for Gay Pride Month and this type of thing. Now, the what do you call the district supervisor or whatever for the district that our town is in? She actually got fired. They forced her to resign because they went along with the Democrats' woke agenda even here. Now, my wife saw this thing. I mean, and that's just the high school, the junior high school. Education system is collapsing because of this. What happened is, people are like, no, you're not going to teach that to my children. So everybody homeschooled, including us. Sex of any kind, a discussion on sex of any kind, doesn't belong in a grade school. It doesn't. If you're a teacher and your students know if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you have failed so miserably. If you're a teacher and you're of that persuasion and you want to teach these children things that children don't need to be taught, all right, you're a pedophile, in my humble opinion, and you should go to jail. Now, my wife saw this thing, and it said they were having a protest. I don't know what they was protesting. But so we figured we'd go, and here in East Texas, my small town of Lufkin, right? Mm-hmm. So we went and checked out the protest. And it was like 12 to 15 just miserable looking people on the side of the road. And I went by and made fun of them because that's what I do. I told them gays for Trump, right? And I got a couple of dirty looks. They didn't like that, but I don't care. But what really was disturbing me was one of these nasty little critters had a sign that said protect trans kids. Our trans kids. These are not your children. You keep your hands off the children. The reason I homeschooled was because I don't want your ideology pushed on my children. Yep. And that's the difference between people in small towns. We're willing to fight to protect our children. All right. Now, I know you people think you're willing to fight, but you ain't never seen nothing like a pissed off redneck. But we drove by there and there was 12, 15 people out there. I felt really sorry for them. I did. It's a cold day. At least it wasn't raining on them.
Or it was 110 degrees.
Or really hot. But it's like my wife said, it's pointless. There's no audience for this here. The only audience for this was the 12 or 15 people standing on the side of the road, waving their little flags.
And the thing is, what exactly, they didn't even have like a point, okay?
Yeah, nothing.
They just had the same slogans that everybody else has out there. And let me tell you one thing that I was very surprised. I got to say this. When we lived in California, we went everywhere, and I don't remember seeing a lot of gay people behind the counters at the register, or even seeing a transgender
Or if they
person.
were, you didn't know. It's like,
But hang on, I did notice a lot more here in this town,
yeah,
and most people are just. My experience of everybody has been no one is rude, mean, disrespectful.
no one cares.
because we don't care.
Yeah,
That is the one thing
you
that
do you, boo.
that's
Just
one
stay away from the children.
that's one thing we've taught our kids, and I have become aware as an adult. People are too busy with their own drama to care about
Yeah.
your drama unless you make it such a big deal that they come
Yeah.
around, and now you're messing with the kids, in which case people pay attention.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and that is the problem with the left. They always go too far. All right.
I agree.
I mean, I don't remember. It was probably 20 years ago, I guess. And there was this lady. Anyway, she was in the gay movement and the women's lib movement, and she's a lesbian, and she pushed for that. And I thought it prolific because all of the good minds said, if we'd have seen this coming, we would have kept our mouth shut because they push it too far. Within a span of 20 years, you went from gay marriage to pedophiles and child mutilation. I mean, you think about this logically. A 10-year-old cannot get a tattoo. Why? Because it's permanent. All right? You can't do it. A 10-year-old can't buy a pack of cigarettes. Why? Because it's harmful for him and he's not mature enough to make that decision, or her, right? A 10-year-old can't buy beer. Why? Because they're a child. And you're telling me that at 10 years old or younger even, they are mature enough to make a decision that will alter their body for the rest of their lives? Come on, use your head.
Their argument is great, okay, which is it's actually kind of genius. They say we need to give kids these medications to stop puberty.
Yes.
So that because it is cruel to make a boy or a girl go through puberty in the wrong body. But the studies say
In
that 99% of the cases,
puberty
corrects whatever imbalance.
Gender dysphoria.
It corrects that. So the genius behind it is that they tell you these things because they want you to stop puberty, because that makes a client for life.
It
Okay,
does, yeah.
The honesty is that we wanted to. We were kind of curious. We wanted to we thought about stopping and asking, have a conversation.
But they get so mean if you ask a question they don't like.
Our impression of it's been nothing but anger and meanness coming from them. So we didn't want to engage because, we didn't want to have drama or anything like that. And that's it. And that is what happens all the time. They're angry.
The thing is this is all imaginary. They've worked themselves into a frenzy and nothing has happened to them. What is happening is the new administration, and every administration does this, they're like, no, we're not doing DEI anymore, all right? Jobs are to be had by merit, and there's real good reasons for that. Now, for all you people out there that are looking at the Elon Musk cleaning out the government, and all, let me try to, your Democratic hero, Bill Clinton and Al Gore, fired over 350,000 federal employees. You can look it up. I can't remember what they called it. It was making the government efficient and working for you. They gave press briefings every 3 or 4 months. They got up there and told you how many jobs they eliminated and how much money they were saving the American people. So here's your whole thing. If you still listen to the mainstream media, you're just a special kind of creature. But it's okay for the Democrats to do it, but it's not okay for Republican to do it. The point blank matter here is the corruption and the filth that has happened. The legal system. You watch, look, we still don't have satisfaction for Jeffrey Epstein or this P. Diddy. All right. We still don't have justice for all the stuff that's going to be put on Biden's laptop, which is Hunter Biden's laptop. Why? Because we have a crooked Department of Justice. It's crooked. That's all there is to it. We have evidence now, hard core evidence, that as early as 2021, Joe Biden and his team at the White House were working for a prosecution on classified documents for Donald Trump. Now, why would this be? Because every single president takes documents home with them after their presidency. And why would that be? Because they are required by law to have a library. So you knew these documents were going to be there, just like Joe Biden had documents in his garage. All right. You guys fall for these catchphrases. This whole thing about protect our trans kids. I've raised 4 kids. And I'm telling you what a 5 and a 6 and a 7-year-old kid want. They want a mud puddle in the backyard. They want to play with the garden hose. They want Legos. And they want to watch the Cartoon Network. No normal child is even thinking about sex at that age unless the parent is grooming them. These parents need to be arrested. There's this one star, I'm not going to mention her name. She was in one of them Transformer movies, right? And that's what it was, Transformers, right? Autobots or whatever it was. Anyway, she's got 3 kids and all 3 boys are trans. Right?
What are the odds?
What are the odds? Especially when gay, bisexual, transgender, all that stuff, it's 2% of the population. It ain't much more. So what she do? Win the lottery here? This is ridiculous. It's common sense. They need to do a wellness check on that family.
I'm telling you, it's something else.
Yeah?
But look, it's just, if you have a family, and here's the thing, they could have kept going with all of this if they just left the children alone.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. If they left the kids alone, I wouldn't have cared. If you're a grown adult, what you do to your own body, it's none of my concern. Who you sleep with, as long as it's another grown adult, I don't care.
I don't even want to hear.
Don't even want to know about it. But you people went after children.
Yeah, and that's it. And that woke up the rest of the parents.
That woke everybody
the ones
up.
that normally just want to go to work and not have anything to do with anything. They're not involved in politics or anything like that.
In my mind, they've killed. I don't know what's going to happen with the schools. It's not going to be federal anymore. I'm pretty sure of that. You guys have killed the schools, all right?
Yeah.
That DEI hiring the gay and trans teachers and perverts to be around children. All right, that is just, it has destroyed. I mean, it literally destroyed the schools. If it destroyed the schools in my small town, I'd hate to see what happens in the big cities.
2 elementary schools are closing down in our area.
Right.
Because of lack of attendance. What happened was, the government decided to send everybody home during COVID. And all the kids came home for school and everything like that. And then they're home, and then you're realizing, okay, their schoolwork can be done in 2 hours.
In 2 hours,
2
right.
Stuff. What exactly are they doing the rest of the time? The rest of the time, they are being indoctrinated, groomed, whatever, to be, you know what?
They sent a letter home because, it's my house. I'm going to see what my daughter was doing and my son were doing on the computers. So I would walk in and check in on it. They sent a letter home asking parents not to watch their Zoom classes, right? They wanted me to promise not to do that. And I was like, no, I'm not going to sign that, right? To begin with, you have the right to go sit in the school anytime you want. A lot of people don't understand that, but you do. You just have to make an appointment with them, and you can sit in class all day long. But then they started having the gay parades for the Pride Month, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I don't want my grade school children to be around that. They're not your children.
They're my children.
They're mine and my wife's.
But look, and so what happened now? You have
Must have been Abby.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of parents that realize what was happening, and their kids did not go back to school. There's a lot of parents. I mean, I know at least two of them who had I mean, even us, we had every intention of sending our kids back to school as soon as they opened.
Yeah.
But then we started staying here, and we're like, oh, wait, that is not an option anymore for these kids. Now, everything and anything that your kid needs to learn in order to be in college,
available online.
You can do it online. There's
free
classes, there's schools, there's all these things are for free.
Yeah, or at very minimal cost.
Exactly. So that's what we realized. We're like, oh, they're not going back. And a lot of parents did that. And so unless these schools rehabilitate themselves, they're gonna lose. We're looking at
They're not your children. All right. They're our children. You teach the classes we want you to teach, or I will not let you teach my children. That's my way of thinking. And evidently there's a lot of people that think that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you go by the high school, and it used to be when my two oldest boys, when they were in that high school, that parking lot was plumb full. They were not only in that, but two churches down the street, they filled those parking lots up. Now you drive by there when school is in session, and it's maybe a little over half full, right? And the churches, nothing, right? Because that's how many people are saying, no, you don't get to teach my children. And the real shame of the matter, the real crux of it is you cannot trust a word like ABC, NBC, CBS. These people have all taken kickbacks. We know that now. All right. These people are on the side of what I'm calling the filth. All right. You can't trust a word that the government says to you right now. Look at COVID. Look what happened. That hydroxychloroquine and all that good stuff, that right there would get you banned from YouTube. We know now that, that's how you treat COVID. All right. What they did with COVID and the shutdowns, all this money, you can't trust anything the government says. And you're going to send your kid to a government school? Makes no sense.
The problem with the news, if you're tuned into regular news, like we all have our local news, okay? They tell you the weather. They tell you what's going on in your local, and you should be aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you also have your ABCs and CNN and all of this stuff that supposedly tell you the world news, or they tell you the news from the entire country. But what you have to understand, they have exactly an hour or however many minutes to convince you of their point, not only to present you with what they want to see for you to see, but to convince you that what they say is the right point of view.
Yeah.
But we don't live in the 1950s, 40s, or even the 2000s anymore.
Yeah.
We're in 2025, which means that if you are able to read and write, you are able to look up all this information yourself. It's available to everybody. If you want to find out what the press conferences are about in the White House, just look up C-SPAN.
Yeah.
It's on everywhere.
They're televised if you want to watch it.
Yeah, you can watch them, and then without commentary, you can form your own opinion.
Yeah. But I mean, and that's what I'm telling you. I mean, the woke culture reached us here in Lufkin, Texas. In East Texas, a small town. I think we're like 37,000 people. It's a pretty small town.
And that woke conservative.
Yeah, and it's pretty conservative. But that woke culture has destroyed our school system.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have those people, there wasn't very many, 12, 15, probably, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would say no, definitely not
No more than
20,
20.
not 20, not even 20. No, but it's the signs they were holding up that I found disturbing. And I
What?
would have loved to stop and talk to
Yeah,
them.
have a conversation.
Why would
What
you
could-
think my kids are yours?
or even just say, what do you mean by, because
Yeah.
what do you mean by trans kids are our kids, or trans kids are this and that? And I mean, but you cannot have a conversation with someone that doesn't want to have one.
Look,
or is not interested in listening to someone else's
we
opinion.
got 4 kids. Is one of them gay? I don't know.
I don't think
It's
so.
not something I figured if they were, they'd tell me. Would it
Yeah.
be the end of the world? No. But you're pushing this agenda on other people. And I don't like that. That's the whole thing about the left. You guys are bullies, right?
Yeah.
You have to think the way that I think. I have to indoctrinate your children to think the way we want them to think. No, it's free speech. A healthy country has to have a healthy dialogue. You look at France, you look at Great Britain right now,
You can't even
Germany, you can't even they will arrest you for hateful thought in Britain. And if you think I'm kidding, look it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing, and it happens. I think this happens with just about every aspect of life.
Yeah.
It's not enough that you have your own personal opinions regarding any matter. Now the problem is you not only do I disagree with you, but you have to be wrong. And I will tell you how wrong you are about everything, including the religious aspect of everything. It's all about being the tribe, being part of this particular tribe, that believes this and that, the one that believes this and that. And therefore, if we believe this, the other ones are wrong.
If being gay is the highlight of your existence, or being trans, if that's your identity, that's it. That's all you care about. You really have mental issues.
That's a problem.
Yeah. I mean,
that does not make for a well-grounded, rounded
it's like,
human being.
I don't have a sign that I run out and stand on the street saying I'm straight. Well, I mean, we don't, okay? And look.
Okay, though, in all honesty, all you have to do is walk around and it might as well have a sign that says I'm straight.
Right.
You walk around with your wife, dude.
Yeah, I walk around with my wife, and I usually have a couple of kids at least in tow. But yeah.
But it's true, though.
Yeah.
You cannot have your entire identity wrapped up in your sexuality.
In one small aspect of your life.
What are you? Okay, so you're gay. Who cares?
Who cares?
Are you a good human being? Do you take care of the poor? Do you take care of your neighbors? Are you a clean human being? Are you a thief? Are you all these things? A liar, a cheater, and all of this stuff. You alcoholic, a drug addict. Who knows?
Who cares? Yeah.
But your personality of every human being is not wrapped up in your sexuality. That's not who you are. You are a sum of all your parts as a human being.
But it's just like that was where the left made their mistake. It's like it's not good enough that you win something or you win an argument. No, you have to destroy everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanted gay marriage, you got gay marriage. Then the next thing you know, you're grooming children. No, absolutely not. That's what's good about living in a smaller town, because we see instant ramifications of that, okay? Yeah. And look, if your state wants to do whatever, it should pay for that. If it's not something that's mainstream, that the President of the United States, if it's not in his program, let's take the immigration thing for now, right? California has a $5 billion deficit. And they want to spend $2 billion housing immigrants or illegal aliens. And yes, it's illegal. They came into the country illegally. And trust me, I mean, my wife is from Mexico, okay? I have every sympathy in the world for this. I don't want my tax dollars paying for that, okay? I would much rather have my tax dollars paying for decent schools, right? For health care for people that really need health care. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I'm willing to pay for. I'm not willing to pay for that. And I'm not willing to pay for people to get elective surgeries, all right? And that's that transgender surgery thing in the military. That's an elective thing. It's like cosmetic surgery. Your insurance company doesn't pay for that, right? It's an elective. If you want to elect to cut your penis off, go for it. But I don't want to pay for it.
Not my problem.
Yeah, all right?
You know.
And I'm telling you, those hormone drugs, it's like the last 6 or 7 school shooters have all been transgender. I mean, it does something to their heads.
Well, even I mean, I don't know, women that might watch this later on and they're we're hormonal human beings, okay? We're all kinds of things.
Gee, I hadn't noticed.
But one of the things that we are full of hormones for everything,
Right.
regulated. If you ever taken, if you as a woman you've taken the birth control pill, it's a hormone that prevents ovulation and all of that, or something like that. It messes with your hormones, which also messes with your mood and your well-being and all of this stuff.
I heard it does bad things to the body.
Anymore now.
Yeah.
So imagine now you have a young man or woman taking hormones on the opposite side. What does that do to your mental well-being? Because it's totally screwing the chemistry of the human body. Look.
But they lie to people, and these kids believe it, right? They're like, they will tell these children that, oh, all you have to do is stop taking the hormones and you'll return to normal. Well, I hate to tell you that's not true as far as I know. There's this big thing with these detransitioners. It has destroyed their bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like just one woman, I was listening to her, what's her name? Coco or something? That one that was at the White House with the president. She's, but anyway, yeah, she was saying like she can never, if she's,
I don't remember her
yeah,
name.
yeah, but if she could have
Chloe.
a child, yeah, Chloe, yeah, if she can have a child, and that's a big if, she'll never be able to breastfeed it, right? So I mean, yeah,
it's terrifying.
and as far as I know,
All
you
of
can't
that is
grow a penis back. Maybe you can, I don't know, but right?
Didn't they,
What?
what's his name? Remember Bobbitt?
Oh, yeah. No, well, they just sewed it back on because that chick cut it in half, right? I think she threw it out the car window. What was his name? John
Bobbitt?
John Bobbitt or something? Oh, my God.
They got it.
Don't cheat on that woman.
Oh, this is how perverted humans are. He was doing porn after that.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, my God, these people. Anyway,
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and that's the good part about living in a smaller town. We can see the results of the woke culture, and we can see it in a span of just 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
We see hard results here. It's destroyed the education here in Lufkin, Texas. All right. It's literally done that. 2 of the grade schools are closing. There's only one middle school, and they had just redone it. And you go by there now, and there's hardly any cars in the parking lot. The high school is the same way. All right. My son told me everybody that he's going to a welding thing, right? And he's like, all the other guys in the class that have smaller kids, he tells us the same thing. Yeah, all of their kids and their brothers and sisters, they're all being homeschooled.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Why? Because we don't want that perversion around, wait for it, our children. Not your kids, our kids.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When they shut these schools down, parents should have had a say in that, okay? Now, yeah, whatever. You should have had, like, you could have done it in the stadium and, but parents, because you were irreparably damaging my children's education, or so we thought at the time. You were hurting my kids without giving me any voice in it. That's what irritated me. The government has just, they thought they're all powerful and they have all this control, right? And they forgot the one thing, that good people will protect their children from predators. And when the school, at all costs, when the schools became the predators, right? Flying these flags and stuff in the school, making it a cool thing, right? Interfering between what a parent wants and what, right? No, that's when things turned. You don't understand what this whole election was about. It was about stopping that woke agenda.
Yeah.
All right. That was it. You think we like Trump? No, but I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right. The shame of the matter is everybody looks at Trump and, oh, he's no more of a criminal than anybody else in politics right now. All right. They targeted him unreasonably. You watch when this Kash Patel, if he gets confirmed into the FBI, they need to clean that thing out, because the FBI is just a hive of wokeness.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I mean, we're God-fearing people, and I guess we think a certain way. But yeah, we don't even beat our kids. All right. I guess I'm more liberal in a lot of ways than you people are. Yeah. I'm just not a pervert. Okay. That's when you mix perversion into politics. And Barack Obama did this when he lost the midterm election the first time. He figured he'd bring all the nut jobs in, and that would give him enough to take the House back. All right. But now you have to placate to these people. You bring the nut jobs in, they want something. So now we have all this nasty stuff in the schools. The education system is literally falling apart in front of our eyes.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Anywho's.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Look, I pray for everybody. I pray for them people down there on the corner that they all got home safely and they didn't catch the death of cold out there, because it was cold.
We were amused and a little saddened by them.
Saddened, amused, and I did laugh at them. I'm sorry.
We did laugh.
Yeah.
It might not have been the most Christian thing we ever done. But come on. This little rinky-dink town, no one cares. They look at it and go like, it'll be the talk of Monday, and then that'll disappear.
I'm not saying who, okay? But in this little town here, there are grown men that wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, and go sit in a fucking tree with a rifle by 4 o'clock, waiting for a fucking deer just to walk on by. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, that's what we're dealing with here, okay? And you want to take that man's kids away from him.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a real problem. And it's just
problem.
like, I just love it when, the Black Lives Matter and all these, we're coming to the small towns next. Oh, come on, Skippy. I'm like, come on. I've been waiting all my life.
Every single one of those guys is ready to go.
I got 3 boys, and all 3 of them are bigger than me, and all 3 of them shoot. I'm like, so even my wife shoots.
I'm pretty good too.
So you bring your protest right here to my front door.
What can you do?
Yeah, what can you do? But
hey, look, we don't want any sort of violence, any of that. We were and that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
They did their thing.
The violence always comes from the left.
People slowed down. They took a look at the sign. They're like, oh, don't care.
Don't care.
Move on. That was it.
Yeah.
I think that's even worse than anything else, honestly.
Yeah,
is that you have become it's so insane in your movement is so insane in how you have hit fever pitch so bad. But people drive by and go like, I don't care. I don't care.
Here's the thing, though. At least our nut jobs are smarter than the nut jobs in the city. They know better than to get out in the street. All right? You get out in the street here, ain't no one slowing down.
Yeah, but look, no one cares.
No one cares.
And, I'm Mexican. they had their Mexican protest, what, 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
or
about a
something
week
like
or
that,
so, a
2 weeks
little
ago,
over maybe.
in
Yeah.
the exact same spot. You know what? No one cared either.
No one cared
Okay.
either. Yeah.
Oh, hey, we were supposed to have a day without Mexicans. I don't know how long ago. Nobody was supposed to
You go to the
work.
grocery
There's
store and it
No
filled.
one cared.
No
We
one-
went. That was that Monday. That we were not supposed to have any Mexicans going out to eat or do
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
It was full of Mexicans.
Yeah.
We went to Sam's Club. It was full of Mexicans, yo. Not even Mexicans care about that because what we want is the criminals gone, so we can have a quiet,
Yeah.
peaceful life for those of us that work and have
But
have a desire to make this country great. Because our children live here.
that nut job from CBS News, she said the Holocaust, I think it was CBS, right? She was talking to Marco Rubio, and she said the Holocaust was caused by free speech. The look on Marco Rubio's face before he corrected her was just incredible. No, there was a single party system. There was no two-party system. It was one party, and they was the Nazis, and they was racists.
Yes.
All right.
That's great.
So they were all and look, the German people don't get a bye. They elected him, and there's a book called Hitler's Willing Accomplices or something like that. Yeah, everybody was for it. And that stuff can happen here too if you don't have free speech.
And I'll tell you one thing, okay? There's this book out there about the Holocaust and stuff like that. Yes, the German people were guilty. You know who was is even guiltier than that? The
Catholic
Christian
Church.
German people.
Yeah, and the Catholic
They
Church.
would be in their Christian service at mass or whatever. They would be singing hymns, and the trains full of Jews would be going by on their way to the gas chamber, screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
And what would the Christians do?
Nothing.
Sing louder so they didn't have to hear it.
All right. Yeah, anyway, but I just thought that was funny. I mean, because we see change real quick here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a smaller town. We see it real quick. And definitely we have to decentralize. Our federal government should not be in charge of the schools. I firmly believe that each state should be in charge of educating their own children. And that way, when a certain state teaches their children nonsense and these kids are not competitive in the job market, that will drive a change in that state. All right? But you don't teach all this nonsense to anybody else's children. All right? If they want that taught to their kids, they'll do it themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho.
God bless.
That's it. Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye.
In here?
Right there.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What? Now over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There.
Bye.
Bye. Almost